What's up, YouTube? Welcome to the domain of your friendly neighborhood comic book dude, where curse words is not just a comic. We're here with another batch of stuff and things for you. Anything to share with you guys? Oh, I am now a Fan Expo ambassador. For any of you guys that are not familiar with Fan Expo, they are one of the biggest convention organizers in not only the country but the world. They've got events in Toronto, in Texas, in Boston, and a slew of other places in Canada, and they're growing. That's why they're getting people like me to help grow the environment. In the coming weeks, I'll start sharing some of the links to some of the events that I'll be organizing for them. If any of you guys would like to take part in them, starting digital first, but as we grow outward from our pandemic situation, we'll look to have some physical events, and you might be able to see yours truly, getting hands-on with them. So yeah, that's cool. What else? It's only been a few days since you guys have seen me, but I'm getting my stuff together, so trying to get quicker about our content here. Should we just get to it? Save the plugs and stuff for later. All right. So a while ago, we had a couple 18-inch figures from Spencer's, and they were a real bitch. I used a curse word like the post. They were a real bitch to track down. They had no year on them. They had no signage to tell you who made them. It was fun. So after all the work was said and done, I come across another figure in the same series that decided to say, we're going to put Spencer's and a year and stuff on here. And I just kind of looked at it and I made that emoji that looks like lines. I was just like, really? So, but we have Sting from the WWE. Oh, no, wait. This is the Crow, Brandon Lee. He makes noise, which is kind of shocking because I feel like he didn't talk very much. I mean, he did, but, he just kind of strikes you as just strong silent type. So, I don't know if, the sound will just be, dead air. Wow. Epic fail. Try me if you dare. I'm not even sure where I'm supposed to be trying. Well, I don't want to finger the Crow to death. I will leave that to whomever decides to put their hands on this lovely Brandon Lee limited numbered 18-inch figure. And the limited numbering is actually, if you can't see it there, it's 1,381, which seems like a high number, but they did this out of 30,000. So 1,381 out of 30,000. Relatively low number, all things considered. It's a cool piece, though. Not that pricey, all things considered. He's came out in 2001. Spencer-specific figure. I doubt they even do stuff like this anymore. I would have to venture into a Spencer's, which we can't do at the moment to find that out. I suppose I could go on their website, but who wants to do that? Sorry. This is the opposite of me endorsing you, Spencer's. I ain't in high school anymore. I can't. But he's going to run you about 75 bones to have this lovely articulated crow. So, there is that. Next, I eased you guys in with a cheap priced item so I can blow you away with the next item, which is not cheap at all. We haven't had one of these in a while. Came across a hot toy, which I feel like are pretty hard to come by. I just don't see them very often, be it in the wild or in catalogs or anything. They're very selective. We've had tons of things that I've compared to you guys as hot toy-esque, but this thing is big and beefy. It is the dog alien from Alien 3. lovely metallic packaging that also doubles as a slipcase to like remove this thing. It's from their movie masterpiece series. About 12 years old. This piece came out in 2008. So, you know, I mean, if it wasn't already hard to come by as a hot toy, it's harder to come by because it's 12 years old. Piece was opened. Check for damage, as many of them are. Actually, was it? Yeah, it was. Gotten so used to adding that disclaimer to listings because I personally would not open them if they weren't already opened, but if they are, I'm going to tell you. Price range. The low on a pre-owned dog alien was $170. The high on a sealed brand new dog alien was $390. So we find ourselves in an average price of $280 for the lovely dog alien. Yeah, I think this thing looks great. I'm not a huge alien person, so I might offend people saying this. He really just looks like a slightly bent over xenomorph. So I mean, if you aren't even caring about the name and are more interested in the look, I mean, he looks like a xenomorph who's prepping to come for you. So I think he's cool. I think he's cool, and if you're an alien person, he's for you. Ease you back down a little bit. We won't go for another $200 piece just yet. Maybe 2 weeks ago, I had a Justice Society 7-piece set. It was like a long box type thing. Wasn't very expensive. It was a pain to box up because long pieces like that they're always just a little bit bigger than the boxes that I have at my disposal. So that's always fun. So somebody at DC Direct / the Murphy's Law gods that know what I'm going to be pulling from the collection next decided to cut me a break because the next box is more manageable. We got ourselves a 7-piece Green Lantern set. It's actually really cool. This is actually, I can tell you right now, if this doesn't sell, I'm gonna buy it because it's so cheap. And I'm a decent fan of Green Lanterns. A lot of the things that I'd be willing to buy, I usually give you guys a crack at first before me, unless it's a Grail or something I absolutely can't live without. But you get every one of the 7 Green Lanterns that we're familiar with, at least at the time that this DC Direct came out. What do we got here? We got a year 2000. Oh, heck yeah. I mean, we've had some other Green Lanterns. We've got Simon Baz now. We've got Jessica Cruz, a couple others. But for their time, Guy Gardner, Kyle Rayner, John Stewart, Sinestro before he went all dark side, Hal Jordan, Alan Scott, and the Guardian that most people actually read about, Garrett Bennett. But yeah, cool piece, and it's only gonna cost you $30. I mean, if you do the math for that, it's pretty cheap, like per figure or per figure in box. I mean, yeah, and they're a nice size. They look like they're 5 or 6, 4 or 5 inches each. Pretty cool. So there be that. Oh wow, whew, I didn't even notice that. Well, you get a deal too. Price was etched onto the box. US $39.95 or Canadian was $70. So yeah, I didn't even see that there. So next, just couldn't stay away from the aliens. This is from our once in a while heard from friends at Metacom Toys, who brought us such things as Hit Girl and Kick-Ass figures. This right here is a Xenomorph and as stated, it does not look that different than a dog alien, except for he stands up straight and he's got these like divots that come out of his back that I didn't see on the dog alien. This one's got some cool little accessories with him. Cool piece. Only about a year old, but this is definitely like not a find in the store piece. This is a special order piece. Like I can tell you for a fact this was ordered out of the Diamond catalog. You probably would only see this on websites that traffic in Diamond products. And I'm sure the numbers on this weren't like as huge as like NECA's, as evidenced by his price range of 38 used, 112 new on the high end. So 75 bones for the Xenomorph from Mafix and Metacom. 75, can I get 75? Can I get 80? No, we're just gonna stick at 75. Alright. Let's see. Next piece. This actually seems like a good bang for your buck. We're actually on theme today. There are a couple of themes that we're going with. Green Lantern is one of them. There's 3 Green Lantern pieces, and I went out of my way. Like as I pulled one, I said, you know what? I'm gonna look for Green Lantern stuff today. So we got ourselves a lovely DC Direct Hal Jordan. Another beautiful piece. 13 inches / 1.6 scale. He's got 28 points of articulation. He's got equipment with him. He's got, light up lantern. You can take off his mask and like look at him. He's a cool piece. Also, relatively not new, so you're not finding this outside of the third party market. He's about on point for what some of these DC Directs I've sold you guys are going for. He's going for about 75. Will be where he lives. Like his low was 60, his high was 90. So 75. We sold Supergirl DC Direct just sold yesterday, the day before. So yep. So there's that. Oh man, we're really digging into the bargain bin now. You bargain hunters better be coming out for this cheap stuff. I mean, because there's nothing wrong with it. It's just, I don't know. People aren't paying a lot of money for it, so why should you? We got ourselves a fully posable Kenner Collection Palpatine. I do believe this is technically Hasbro. It was that like in between period where like Kenner was absorbed. I would call him 12 inch if it doesn't actually say 12 inch. It is a 12 inch. Cool little artwork on the back. Ooh, little Barkman down. Nice. I wonder if there's 3 of those in the collection, so you could like make the little scene in the cantina with all 3 of them. That'd be cool. Yeah, it came out in 1998, so 22 years old. You can't find this anywhere. Cool, just a little cloth, collectible Star Wars Emperor Palpatine. $20. 20. He's probably winning the award for the cheapest item of the day. Buy me, or I shall send lightning out of my fingers at you. You heard the man. It's not even me now. It's threatening your life. Excuse me. Alright. I patted you guys a little bit. I gave you the cheap stuff so we could get back to some more pricey stuff. So done a fair amount of the like sideshow cloth figures by now. Maybe like a slew of Freddy's, Jason's, Leatherfaces, things like that. So their side characters are, from what I've noticed, are either a lot or not at all, because it really all depends on how consequential the side character is. Like we had Bella the Gypsy from the Wolfman as a sideshow figure, and he went for like $30, $30, something like that. But if you're a consequential character in the film, but still technically a side character as determined by the fact that you're not the nude screaming camp counselor getting killed and or the serial killer monster doing the killing, you're a side character. But I think most of us can agree that even though she doesn't appear as often as she could, Pamela Voorhees is probably a little bit more than a side character. She was the killer of the first Friday the 13th movie. Oh, spoiler alert. Sorry, guys. She just, I wonder from time to time if, like, it was always the intention to, like, do the whole mask for Jason thing for a slew of films. I wonder if it was really always just intended to be her, and then somebody was like, what if we make him come back? And we're like, he could have so many movies. And then it just snowballed from there. But I guess the point I'm trying to make when we get to some of these side characters are, there's a ton of Jasons, a ton of Freddys out there, things like that. It's not saying that you shouldn't get them all, because, figures are like Pokemon, we gotta catch them all. But you don't see characters like her as often. If there's a Jason for every movie as a sideshow character, and she's only appeared in, you can count on one hand how many of the movies, logically there are less of her, ergo price is higher. So Pamela Voorhees was low end used $115, high end brand new $225. So that sets us right in the crosshairs of $170. With a face like that, how could you not pay $170? We'll find out. But yep. And yeah, she I would be remiss to think that you could find her easily. She's from 2004, 16 years old. You're finding her in shops where somebody decided to sell one, or eBay, or horror groups on Facebook where somebody's trying to move. That's about it. So, if you want her, here she be. What is next? I think this is the first big piece of McFarlane stuff that actually feels like I found a value for the item that doesn't feel like a steal. There's a handful of these like movie maniac scenes that I've found that are McFarlane related, and it's just like, it's almost like the name is a death wish, which I don't get. I have tons of his comics. I've met the guy several times. He's very cool. So why his products don't hold their value, I'll never understand. However, this might be the exception to the rule. Got ourselves here a remake Leatherface, Movie Maniac Series 7. He's what looks to be a 12-inch figure. He's got removable parts. He's got a cool little scene with him. If this was going for what some of the things I've sold on here were, it'd be like halfway between 100, and I'd just blow my mind. It'd be like, why? But for once, the low end on this was 52 for an open one without all the parts, and then the high end was 125 brand new. So that means our boy Leatherface here is going for $90. That seems fair for a figure of its quality, of its size, possibly its age, 2004, 16 years old. You might find other Leatherfaces. It's not going to be a McFarlane Leatherface, though. And for some people, that actually means something, so. And McFarlane add me as a sponsor. No. Alright. Or sponsor me. Is that how that works? Ooh, alright. In my quest to continue to be shocked by the things I find in this collection, I game. Lots of people game. Frank never expressed any interest in video games to me. Looking at this next piece, I can surmise that it was ordered and owned based on its looks, which there's nothing wrong with. But just the fact that I found a piece from a video game series that I I would be shocked if Frank had heard of outside of the catalog where he likely saw this figure, just was a little surprising. Um, we got ourselves a Ninja Gaiden figure. It's Rachel. She's a 6 scale PVC from Kodabukaya slash Diamond Select, I believe. Or, yeah, it's like Kodabukaya slash Diamond Distributors. So, that's a first. It's usually Kodabukaya artifacts. This might have been before they were, like, exclusive. We have a year on her? We didn't have a year on her. I can say over the years, anytime I came across Ninja Gaiden collectibles in the catalogs and things, it was almost always the masked protagonist. Rarely did I see stuff like this, which would explain the price range. Again, there's probably not much Rachel stuff out there, but I could be wrong. She was 65 pre-owned and open, or high-end 190 brand new, which puts us at $125. Cool piece, provocative piece, great for any fan of Ninja Gaiden or well-endowed ninja compatriots is the best analogy I can come up with that doesn't sound crude. But yeah. Oof. Alright. I'm gonna need anybody taking heart medicine or faint of heart to click off the video now, because we've got our most expensive piece of the day right about now. Pretty sure that's our most expensive piece. Yeah, that is our most expensive piece. So I've shown you guys a couple of the Bowen statues, and as I come across them, I sometimes get like, I don't know what you want to call it, like intuition or just a feeling. The room that all the Bowen statues are in, which at some point I'll have to do a video of that just to give people a taste of what the storage facility looks like, is just a wall of Bowen statues just stacked on top of each other in their boxes. So it's hard sometimes to determine what to take because I don't know what people are interested in, what they want. I try not to do any sort of pricing before I take items. I take them and then I price from there when I get home. But something just told me Jean Grey, not original Jean Grey, she looks like her outfit from the 90s. So if you ever watched X-Men the Animated Series, her outfit from that, or similar to that, or in the comics around that time period is what she looks like. Which, I don't know why I'm describing to you, I can just show it to you. But I saw that, and maybe because I'm a 90s child, and I have an affinity for that, it resonated with me, and something about it said to me, let's do it. Yeah. So we got ourselves Bowen, Jean Grey. She sits at about 13 inches. She's got that like see-through psychic energy base. Oh god, what number was she? She's 884 out of 1500. Which we can see right there. She's just beautiful, and I personally, I like Jean Grey, but Jean Grey's not my like go-to Marvel chick who I'm just like, here's a blank check, write whatever number you want on it so I can have this. If I was getting this piece for free, I would totally display it. It's beautiful. I'm sure it will give somebody a nice home, or somebody will give it a nice home. Opened, pre-owned, no box, $258. Sealed, never opened, brand new, high end, $575. So our Jean Grey is opened, never displayed, purely to check for damage. And she is 11 years old. She is clocking in at $415. Oof. The worst part. Well, no, it's not the worst part. But as I say that and I break hearts for people looking at it and then like hearing that price and they're like, too much for me, someone is going to pay it. Because every Bowen statue I've shown you guys have gone for money. Black Cat was a $325 statue. Savage Hulk was a $275 statue. I mean, they all go. So, yep. All right. That's not pain for you guys today. Let's see here. 2 out of 3 of our next items are gone. As I look at my list here, it's a great time to remind people that I have a Patreon page. At some point, I would love to get better equipment, make like a studio, things like that. And for anybody who's watching these videos for the first time, this is consignment. These items don't belong to me. These exorbitant price tags are not what go into my pocket. I receive a very nominal fee for my sales, which aren't something I can contribute to creating a studio. So we've got a Patreon page with some levels of membership, and one of our patrons, TJ Gomez, in fact my only patron, gonna get that number getting bigger. I know one of these days somebody's just gonna get sick and tired of losing out on items, and they're gonna go for it. I had a screen grab Cinema of Fear Series 2 Texas Chainsaw Massacre Mezco action figure. I'm going to pantomime it because I don't have it. That was $150. Sold to a patron because patrons get 24-hour early access even at the lowest tier. The lowest tier is $1 a month. A quarter a week gets you a day's early access to all the items you would see in the video. Potentially. If I had 0 patrons, you'd see all the items. With patrons, they get a chance at stuff, and if they buy it, it doesn't get into the video. And then we had another thing, which was The Thing, like John Carpenter's The Thing. It was the Norris creature. It was a McFarlane action figure. I had that at $65. Both of those sold to our patron here. So if you'd like an opportunity to see these things before they disappear and then can't be seen on the screen, Patreon link is in the description. So check it out. I swear, I'm worth $1 a month or a quarter a week. The one other thing in this list that I still do have is a Movie Maniacs figure from Species 2. And it's from 95. Wow. So, 25 years old. Shoot. Is that right? Is it really 95? 98. Sorry. The movie was 95. Still though, 22 years old. This is a steal. $15 is what you can have the Eve Species 2 creature for. Yeah. And she also looks like she's from Movie Maniacs Series 1, which is kind of cool. There's a couple more of those in the basement, so we'll probably be coming across those soon. Hopefully their prices don't reflect the $15 mark, because that's also a deal. Wow, actually I just lied too. I said Palpatine it was our cheapest item for the day. Species 2 is. So. Alright, time to dig into the golden age of comic book art. For any of you fans of things like early Nova or certain instances of Batman, DC Collectibles for a while were doing Batman. Some were black and white, some were regular, but they were like Batman in the different art styles of the iconic artists who've done them over the years. So we got our hands this week on a little mini statue, in the art of Carmen Infantino. Carmen Infantino, 6.25 inches, by the way. Giggity. Yeah, I mean there's a whole bunch of these, so I won't be surprised if we come across any others, or if this was a particular grab because it was Carmen Infantino. I'm gonna err on the side of the first thing because Frank was a Batman kind of guy. His range is actually pretty close. It wasn't anything like too like disparate. The low was 44, the high was 60. 50 seems like a nice solid number for this guy. I don't even think they went that low when you bought them brand new. I think even at their lowest, these things were like 60. So, deal, right? Deals when you can get some. Ooh. And our last on-theme Green Lantern piece today is from a set of mini statues referred to as the DC Chronicles. Mini Green Lantern statue. I would say he clocks in about the same size. Say he's a little taller than that last Batman, was 7.5 instead of 6.25. I just love this box. Actually, the whole Chronicles thing where you can see like the collage of the comic books. I love that. But yeah, looks cool. Hal Jordan's got his like little like power burst on the ring. I don't know. Date on this one. No, we don't. This is actually a limited number though, which is weird because it doesn't show the number on the outside. Oh, it does actually. There it is. It's handwritten. That's what throws me. It is number 441 out of 3,500. And this one's just another $50 little mini statue. So, there be that. The last in our part of the segment with mini busts that come in at $50. No kidding, seriously, like I molded it that way. Got ourselves a Slimer from Diamond Select. He has a lighted bust, I believe. Yeah, the bust lights up, which in turn, because he's like translucent, makes him light up. He looks pretty movie accurate, as far as I can tell. Just looking at him, he looks like Slimer to me. I don't think I could confuse him for like off-brand like Russian Slimer. So, and yeah, he clocks in at 50 also. So, you know, bevy of $50 busts / mini statues. Step right up. I really believe something was amiss. Yep, I did miss something a while ago too. Staring at her off screen, I'm like, why haven't we come across this yet? So, backpedaling for a second here. I'm not sure how many people are familiar with this. I actually do have a couple of subscribers in the store I work at that do get the comic with us. But this is Jim Balance Tarot Witch of the Black Rose. It's from Broadsword Comics. The covers are always super, like hardcore looking. Like it's Triple X Comics. It's gotta be. I've never read one, but it just looks like it. Which is, there's nothing wrong with that, If that's your thing, I think it looks great. But that being said, I don't think I've ever seen a Diamond Select 12-inch statue go for this much. I mean, it's not Team Grey expensive, but just relative to what it is, it's from 2012. Maybe because there's not, I've never seen. This is the first piece of tarot merchandise I've ever seen, myself with my own eyes. It's from 2012, so it's like 8 years old. So if there's not a huge frequency of tarot stuff and there's some age on it, $115 doesn't seem totally outrageous, I guess. Low end was $51 open and high end was $175 sealed. So that's where we are on the Tarot Witch of the Black Rose. What else do we got? We're coming towards the end. This is a little bit on theme too, I guess. I don't know if I did it on purpose just because I wanted to be like, oh man, I have another Jean Grey thing, but this one's not as expensive. Came across a Black Queen, Jean Grey as Black Queen mini bust. It is limited numbered. It's out of 1,000 pieces. I'm not 100% sure if this was exclusive to these conventions that are listed on the back, because I have to imagine it was ordered in the catalog, or if they were like allocated to each of these events. Like 333 were at San Diego Comic-Con, 333 were at Wizard World, and the other 334 were in the Diamond catalog. Maybe, or did each like get 1,000? I don't know. Or maybe the Wizard World and San Diego Comic Con ones were like slightly tweaked, so they could call them San Diego Comic Con exclusive. But she is 608 out of 1,000. Again, because she's a quarter of the size of that other Jean Grey, she's a quarter of the price basically. Her range was pretty narrow. It was between 100 and 120, so 110. Cute piece though. Jean looking all evil like that. I've very vivid memories of the episodes of the X-Men animated series where like they convinced her to go dark side, and Wolverine and Cyclops trying to like talk her out of stuff, and she's like blasting them both like with fire, like Phoenix power. Brutal. Other two things on the docket from there. Found ourselves some cloth NECA figures, which always seem to fetch a little bit more than your run-of-the-mill NECAs. I mean, not that much, but got ourselves a cloth Halloween Michael Myers from the newer film, the one that the sequel is coming out for this fall. I think that's 2018. Oh, it's listed as 2019 in here, but it was it really 2018? I don't remember. I think the movie was 2018, and this figure must have come out 2019. And then we got Pennywise here from the original It, which this also this one they decided not to give a date to. But these are pretty cool. I like these boxes. Again, I'm a little bit more in tune with these ones than some of the other ones. I don't know, something about the cloth just makes them feel a little bit realer. Maybe it's just me. Maybe that's why they're called real toys. We got Michael is $30 and Pennywise is $35. So, woo. And our last bit of stuff comes the hardcovers, which I think is going to bring us our second most expensive book of the day. Or item of the day, I should say. So we got... Oh, come on. We got a Swamp Thing. Bronze Age hardcover. Beautiful piece. This is your essential read for Swamp Thing stuff. If you want the stuff from... oh, God, what the heck's his name? The original Swamp Thing series. I'm going to read this on the back. There we go. The Bernie writes in Swamp Thing stuff. So this gives you issues 1 to... Oh, wow. This is a lot, actually. This is 1 to 24 of that run. Then the Saga of the Swamp Thing. The Swamp Thing Annual. And if all that wasn't enough, they give you his first appearance of House of Secrets 92. You know what this is going to run you? $70. Issue 1 of Swamp Thing from Bernie Wrightson is a couple of hundred. So, I mean, seems like a good deal for number 1 plus 50 other books. Unfortunately, the Marvel omnibuses aren't as generous with their price tags. Let's see. I'll hold that one for suspense since it's our last item of the day. Second to last item of the day. Oh, Invincible, Iron Man, Volume 1. I believe we already had Volume 2 on here. But yeah, this is the OG Iron Man stuff. You get Tales of Suspense 39 to 83, which was all like Iron Man and Submariner stuff, or Iron Man and Cap stuff. Jumped around some. Some of it was just like Iron Man on his own. And then there was also a Tales to Astonish in here, which I think was probably a crossover story. But yeah, this is your OG earliest Iron Man stuff. Range on this was between 190 and 240, so $215 is what this bad boy is gonna break you for. But again, to even get a fraction of what's in it in real life at the quality that it's going to be in this book, doesn't seem worth it. And the last item of the day can only be. I'm going to be shocked when I find the number one of this, because for volume 2 to be this pricey. We got Tomb of Dracula Volume 2 hardcover. This is the back half of the Tomb of Dracula stuff. It's got Tomb of Dracula 32 to 70, Giant Size Dracula 5, and Doctor Strange 14. I don't know why this is so pricey. It might be because it's the standard cover and not the variants. And the standard cover is more desirable on this because it's like the OG art. The range on this was high. Like, I only found 2 copies sold, and they were both like 360 something. So I I rounded down just to give a little bit of a break. It's going to be $350 because there's really no average to give you on a book that's both the sold prices are that high. It was like 360 and 361, I think. So the average would have been 360.50. I went with 350. But yeah, I do know that the other volume is in the collection. I'll probably have that next week. So yeah, that is our second priciest item of the day by about $65. And it also brings us to the end. So as always, like, comment, subscribe, do one of those things, get you in a chance to get a poster out of the deal. Check the links. I'm going to be adding more stuff. Probably going to do some revamping maybe to the intro and the outro to include, some of that Fan Expo love, maybe some other partnerships and things that I've been working on. Do have an exclusive preview coming up soon too for a comic that made its local debut some time ago that I'm friends with the writer and the artist of, but they're making their worldwide debut. They were in the last issue of Diamond. So I'm going to be previewing first couple of pages of their story before it gets in the hands of the masses very soon. So keep an eye out for that if you're a fan of indie content. It's actually a kid story, kid friendly, so that'll be something to share with the little ones. As always, I've been your friendly neighborhood comic book dude. I will catch you guys next time.